Are you thinking about starting a business but not quite sure which business to pursue? Perhaps you know what you don't want but are having a little trouble on figuring out what you do want. If so, this week's episode is for you. I'm Siobhan Barnes, founder of the Neon Life Society, and this week I'm going to be talking to you about step 2 to figuring out the right business idea for you. If you missed the first video, then make sure you click on the link below to understand the first step, but today I'm talking about the second step, which is actually figuring out what it is that you want from your business. I think so many people miss out on this step, myself included, when I made the leap from corporate to entrepreneur, because we don't actually take the time to reverse engineer a business that's going to work for us. We can have the tendency to jump into something that sounds sexy and exciting without really establishing whether the reality of running that business is in alignment with why we're starting a business in the first place. So step 2 of figuring out the right business for you is to really get clear on what you're doing. Like, what are you pursuing a career for? What matters to you? What do you want your ideal day to look like? I'll share a story because I think we can learn a lot from stories, and it's my own personal journey, and I'm going to share with you a huge mistake that I made. So when I left the corporate world, I left to start an organic skincare business because in my mind, it sounded super sexy and exciting. It was a childhood dream of mine, and I always wanted to create something where I would be able to have an impact for not just people in the Western world, but also people in the developing world who, I thought deserved a piece of the pie. And I loved the idea of a sustainable business. Now, whilst that all seemed amazing in my head, the reality was that I wasn't going to achieve my ideal life that way. The reality was I would spend much of my time in the kitchen mixing and experimenting with different ingredients, and I saw that the reality of making this business a success, at least the start, was about, starting small, creating my own products, going to fairs and selling them, and then building it from there. And when I thought about it some more, I realized that that wasn't the life that I wanted. I had jumped ahead to the glamorous idea of a global brand that was in multiple different countries and perhaps stocked in some of the best department stores, but I wasn't in reality about the steps needed to get there and how life would look like in that interim process. And quite frankly, the interim process did not interest me. I was pregnant at the time, and I did not want to be a slave to time and working in the kitchen. I really wanted to be able to have a bit more freedom than that. And so that's when I realized that that business idea wasn't for me. So when you're thinking about the right business to start for you, I encourage you to think about the realities of what that means. Does that mean that you have to work from home or on your own? Does that mean that you are, maybe doing a lot of technical work when your flair and your excitement comes around the creative side? Really get into a strong understanding of what it takes to start the business idea that you're thinking of. And the best way that you can do that is talk to successful people who've already gone and done that. So I encourage you to pass your business idea through this filter. Does a day in the life of being a business owner in this area excite me? If not, why? If so, why? Really get grounded and clear that that's the lifestyle that you're ready to live. And, perhaps the payoff will be great in the future, but ask yourself in the interim, are you happy with whatever lifestyle you've got to essentially put up with or grind out in the meantime? So that is my recommendation for you. And leave a comment below. Let me know, what business are you thinking of starting, and what does the reality of that look like? Is that still something that excites you? And obviously, if you have any questions, then leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to continue the conversation in the comments there. Keep going for that business dream of yours. There is nobody in the world who can do what you do the way that you do it, and it is up to you to figure out that business idea and make it happen. And I am here to support you. Let me know how you get on, and in the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful week.